What's up, peeps? Turn-based Nanashi Gears here. Today we are going to be reviewing Gears Tactics. After I finally put XCOM down, I picked this one up on sale on Steam. I own a PlayStation and a PC, so I can play all types of games. Let's jump right into this, shall we? Gears Tactics is a full turn-based strategic game, just like XCOM, but also has its own flavor. Gears Tactics is 12 years before Gears 1. Gears 2 happens 6 months after Gears 1. Gears 3 happens 18 months after Gears 2. The war was in total 17 years long on a global scale. So Gears Tactics is the second year of the war. I think it would have been amazing if the tutorial mission was at the start of the war. Supposedly the main character, Gabe Diaz, had a mission and it made him give up on being on the front lines.
I don't run ops anymore. Not after Gatka Ridge.
He kind of gave up on being that type of gear and he went to the motor pool to just start fixing stuff. I wish the tutorial showed us that mission and then had a 2-year skip. So the game starts you off with, again, Gabe Diaz, and who's been in the motor pool fixing things. Sid comes along to scoop up Gabe to go retrieve some intel under the orders of under the orders of Punkface Prescott. The cutscenes in game are really damn good and the graphics are great. I actually never had any frame drops, bugs, or crashes. After Prescott started spamming hammer beams everywhere, Gabe and Sid hid in the bank vault for shelter to get back to the motor pool, just to find that everybody who Gabe was working with, all the gears, were dead, but not by the beams, but by some main skank punk named Ukon. And then the game starts, or at least that was all the tutorial. I gotta say, I was really liking the dialogue between Sid and Gabe. I thought one of them were gonna be the do it by the books type, and I was very glad I was wrong because I really liked their conversation. I liked all the moments they had. So let's talk about things that I liked in the game. Character development was really good, especially between Sid and Gabe. Graphics on point. Again, no bugs, no frame drops, no crashes. The Overwatch system was really good. You have a targeted area, and any enemy that moves in that area will get lit up, with the possibility to disrupt them in that specific enemy's turn. Squads of 4, plus your boy Jackbot, such a useful unit on your team. 3 action points per soldier, so 12 actions in total. But there are abilities that give you more than 1 action. Your gears heal up completely after every mission. I really love that part. You can be downed after losing all of your health, so you need to be picked up by another gear. And when you are, you're healed up to 75% of your health. And if that same gear is downed again and you pick them up, they're at 50%, and so on and so on. Moving along, Gears Tactics, there are 3 acts. Act 1 has 12 chapters. Act 2 and 3 actually have 8 chapters. In Act 1, Chapter 4, pretty early in the game, we are introduced to the third main character, Michaela, whom is a resistance fighter with a sniper. Right off the bat, she hates gears. Ain't no surprise. And I really wasn't fond of her in the beginning. She was kind of annoying, but honestly, she came around with some time and definitely added good dialogue. It felt like a really good trio between these 3. There are 5 classes in Gears: Support, which is Gabe; Vanguard, like Sid; Sniper, like Michaela; Big Gun, heavy class; and then the up close, the Scout class, packing a shotty. 10 enemy types. I like that part. And I did really like the add-on to the guns. You have plenty of modifications you can make to the guns and to the armor, even to the helmets. I thought that was pretty awesome. There are 22 main missions. After each mission, you have to do some side missions, usually 3. You have 5 mission types. Control, my favorite. This is I love this idea of this mission. This type was the most fun for me. There are 2 zones you have to capture. Every turn your soldiers occupy the zone, you get 1 tick of progress. You need 10 ticks to complete the mission, while the enemy only needs 4 ticks. If the enemy and you both occupy the zone, then no one gets any ticks. And if the enemy occupies the zone, then they will get their ticks. Next up is Scavenger. There are 5 boxes on the map. You only have to open up 3 and make it to the evac zone. While doing this, you will have enemies dropping in or already waiting for you ahead. On top of that, you have these enemy bomb droppings behind you. After every turn, the bombs cover more of the map, so you really can't stay in the same place for long. I didn't like this mission much because I like taking my sweet time on missions. That's just me personally. I'm not a fan of being rushed, but it's definitely appreciated. Then up is Rescue. You start off with 2 gears, having to rescue 2 other gears or civilians. You have 15 turns to rescue the gears or the civilians, and then make it to the evac zone. I find this one to be the hardest mission type because, I mean, I'm only loading up in with 2 gears. Based on which 2 gears you load up in, it can be hard because of how many enemies are already on the map before you even rescue the other 2. Can get a little bit annoying. And then on top of that, you got 15 turns. Again, I'm not a fan of being rushed. The last mission type is Sabotage and Incursion. Pretty much the exact same. You make your way to a checkpoint after clearing out hostiles, and then you make your way to a crate after clearing out more hostiles. Then you make your way to the evac zone. That's pretty much it. That's all you have to do. It's best to have 12 soldiers so you can always have teams of 4 available, because remember, you have to do at least 3 side missions before doing your main mission, so always good to have 12 peeps on ready. Now, things I don't like about this game much. After every side mission, whichever soldiers went on that mission, you can't use them until you're done with the other side missions before the main mission. Me personally, I like to just use who I want to use. I get the game wanting me to use other characters, but I mean, there's only 5 classes. It's not like I'm gonna need the other created characters in the grand scheme of things. Character customization, oh man, boy, it is pretty crappy. And before you think it shouldn't matter since you have main characters, remember you only get to use a soldier once after the main mission until the next main mission starts. So you spend a lot of time using those extra created characters. So there damn better be some better customization if I'm gonna spend so much time with these other characters. You can't change the race or the gender or the face. Me personally, I want to make my characters look a certain way. If you give me the option to make them look different, then let me make them kind of what I want them to be. And then if you want a character to build on, you gotta hope that you can recruit someone that has the looks that you want to build on, and hope it's the class that you want. You can be spammed with 3 of the same classes. You'll be able to recruit new soldiers after every mission. Now, this game really shocked me. There are 3 boss battles in this game, which is a mega W, and they're really fun to play. And man, this game amazed me plenty of times. Now, Act 4. Let's talk about Act 4, the final act of the game. Sucked so hard. Alright? Straight up sucked. I really did not like this part. The game up to this point was fire. Scenes, fire with flavor. Character development, fire with flavor. Act 4, Chapter 5 out of 8 introduces you to the last main character, Reyna. something like that. I really don't care. Whom I seriously disliked because, yo, there was no time for character development. There was no time to really introduce who this character is and all the whatnots. She's just thrown at you before the game ends. Remember, this is what at the ending of chapter 5, so you only have chapter 6, 7, and 8 before the game ends, and she's thrown at you. I really did not like that. Now, this character, Reyna, is insanely important. She later becomes Gabe's wife, and they have a child whom becomes the main character in Gears 5, and Reyna becomes the main villain in Gears 5. But there's no hint of that aside. Well, I wouldn't say there's no hint because there is that necklace thing that she takes from Ukon. But outside of that, there's no like development between her and Gabe. Yes, they have a conversation, and Sib kind of makes a funny joke at them saying, she likes you. But it was like, does she really? There was just no real development between Reyna and the other three characters, or Reyna with Gabe. But moving to the end of the game, it also sucked real hard, alright? You fight Ukon on a giant thing. That boss battle was so crappy, man. Way too easy to deal with. It just took a little time to kill it. You kill the beast, and then you hit Ukon with some slime that you prepared for him. This moment right here gets to me because it's like, who gets to kill Ukon? Gabe had to come back into combat because of Ukon. Sid kind of had it hard because of Ukon. Michaela had to deal with Ukon. Sure, Reyna had to deal with Ukon as well, but you spend more time with Gabe, Sid, and Ukon. Michaela. Reyna is the one that gets to kill Ukon, and she kind of just walks away. And then you have your trio looking at Ukon's body, kind of like, man, this took a while. Like, they went on a journey to kill Ukon, and they're really just kind of savoring the moment. And it's only those three, and it's like, you're just showing me the trio. It's like you could have, this would have been a better scene without Reyna completely.
My creatures, my perfect creations will outlive you all!
They'll outlive your ass, that's for sure.
That's that then.
So what's next, mustache man? You headed off to spill some cog dirt?
Been thinking on that. Maybe some secrets are better left buried. I say we leave Prescott to his world.
I really just did not like that. I really didn't like her being in this. And if you're going to have Gabe's future wife in here, add on to it. It should have just been something like you kill the beast, Ukon tries to revive itself, but it can't because of the ooze, and he leaps, and he's on the run, and you're trying to catch him. You have Act 4, and because of Act 4, you get to see the character development of Reyna, and the development of Reyna and Gabe. That would have been awesome. But no, they don't capitalize on that. And Ukon dying after you fight the beast, but you can't fight Ukon himself? Man, they had a chance for a Ukon boss battle. The ending gives you such a bad taste after having so many good tastes in this game. Boy, that ending really killed some vibes for me. So then, what about after the game? Should you go in for a second playthrough? Honestly, I couldn't. If I wanted to try out different builds, because you do get, I think, 4 different, you get 4 different paths of building your character. And honestly, if I wanted to try out a different path in building a character, then I would just use it on a different soldier that has the same class. Like I mentioned before, having 12 gears will help you play every mission in squads of 4. So you can have 3 of the same classes on 3 different squads, having 3 different builds. No reason to play the game new to play different builds. After the ending, you can play more side missions, but it just becomes a hunt for supreme gear. And honestly, that's not enough to keep me playing. It was a very bad ending when it could have been so much more. There was really no replay value, and that really kills it a lot. I'm not gonna be honest with you. Yeah, it was a fun play, but it was fun up until the ending. And then after the ending, it's like there's not much to do. So it's like you can just stop playing it with a bad taste in your mouth, or continue playing it, but not, I mean, you're just unlocking supreme gear. You're not getting anything else. There is no DLC, at least for more story. There's nothing. I would rate this game about an 8 out of 10, which is really good because I had a lot of fun with this game. No bugs, no glitches, which gave it a lot of points for me. The boss battles, amazing, except for the last one. Except for the last one. Oh man, except for the last one. But 8 out of 10 is a good rating overall. If the same company made a new game, I would definitely jump on that game. And definitely jump on that game. But the ending was really bad in Gears Tactics. No replay value. Like, those are just 2 hard hits for me. And some people might grade it higher, some people might grade it lower. For me, it is definitely an 8 out of 10 because it was really fun. And I was so invested into the story. But it just didn't pay off well for me. It didn't pay off well for me at all. But anyway, thank y'all so much for watching. If you have any recommendations, let me know, please. That being said, peace out, peeps.